Happy Friday, everyone. I chose a couple of books to finish up. Well, it might not be the last time we talk about friendships, but since it's Friday, I just picked a couple of books to end up what we have been talking about for the last few days. And one of them is Ribbit Rescue. We've read both of them in class, and I just thought I would go back and revisit them. And today, in our Zoom meeting, some of you are asking for some specific books, and so I'll definitely come back to those also next week. Ribbit Rescue. It was written by Robert Munsch, and the illustrations are by Eugenie Fernandez. Ribbit Rescue. As soon as her grandmother finished making the ribbon dress, Jillian put it on and ran out in the front yard. A man came running down the road. He was dressed in fancy clothes and he was yelling, "I'm late, I'm lost, I'm late, I'm lost, I'm going to miss my own wedding." "Wait," said Jillian, "let me fix your shoes." She tore 2 ribbons off of her dress, laced the man's shoes with them, and tied them into big bows. Then a lady in a fancy white dress came running by. She was yelling, "I'm late, I'm lost, I'm late, I'm lost, I'm going to miss my own wedding." "Well," said Jillian, "at least I can fix your hair." Jillian reached up and tore 8 ribbons off her dress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then the lady bent down and Jillian fixed her hair into 4 enormous ponytails. If you look at the picture and you don't know what the word enormous means, you'd get a good clue by looking at the picture. Enormous means really big. So she's got some really big ponytails happening. "And now," said Jillian, "take my mother's bicycle. She's grown up and doesn't use it anymore. Just keep heading for the church steeple and you'll be there in no time." "Oh, thank you," said the lady. "I might be late, but at least I'll look okay." She gave Jillian a hug and rode away on the bicycle. Then a family came running down the road yelling, "We're late, we're lost, we're late, we're lost, we're going to miss the wedding. We haven't even had time to wrap the present." "Well," said Jillian, "I can wrap your present." And she wrapped the present with 5 ribbons from her dress. The family said, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We may be late, but we will have a lovely present." "And now," said Jillian, "take Lindsay's wagon and Haley's scooter. They're sort of grown up and don't use them very much. Just keep heading for the church steeple and you'll not get lost." They all gave Jillian a hug and rushed off. Then a man came down the road yelling, "I'm late, I'm lost, I'm late, I'm lost, I'm going to miss the wedding." Suddenly he stopped and said, Oh no, it's lost." "What's lost?" said Jillian. "The ring, the wedding ring," said the man. "I've lost the ring." "I'll help you find it," said Jillian. She crawled around and got quite dirty, but after a while, she found the ring in a mud puddle. "Look," said Jillian, "you might lose it again. Let me help you." She tied the ring to the man's finger with a ribbon. "And now," said Jillian, "take Jeremy's skates. He's grown up and doesn't use them very much. Just keep heading for the church steeple." "Thank you," said the man. "I may be late, but at least I have the ring." Then Jillian's mother came running out of the house and yelling, "Jillian, we're late for a wedding and you're a mess. What will your grandmother say?" She grabbed Jillian's hand and they ran down the road. But when they got to the church, the man at the door said to Jillian, "What a mess. You can't come in here dressed like that." But, said her mother. "That's okay," said Jillian. "I'll sit on the stairs and wait for you." Then the bride and groom walked around the side of the church and saw Jillian sitting on the stairs. "Oh," said the groom, Don't my shoes look great? Oh, said the bride, isn't my hair wonderful? Yes, said Jillian, your shoes are great and your hair is wonderful, and I hope you have a wonderful wedding. Aren't you coming in? Said the groom. No, said Jillian. I tore off all the ribbons off my dress to fix hair, lace shoes, wrap a present, and tie a ring, and now my dress is a mess and I can't come in. Huh, said the groom. I think we need a flower girl. Huh, said the bride. Yes, we definitely need a flower girl. So they picked a bunch of wildflowers from the grass, and Jillian walked into the church in front of everybody else. And even though her dress was all dirty and full of holes, everyone said she was the prettiest kid there. And that is the end of the story. Now, one of the things that I want to tell you about Robert Munsch is that he writes lots and lots of stories that we have heard and think are silly, like Purple, Green, and Yellow, like Ribbon Rescue, like Cookies. Do you remember that one where the kid makes the cookies out of Play-Doh and tricks all the people until his teacher tricks him, and then they make a real cookie at the end? He has written a bunch of Angela's Airplane, where the little girl who's 6 flies the airplane by mistake. So Robert Munsch has been writing children's books for a very, very, very long time. And he gets the ideas when he goes and tells stories at schools, which he used to do a lot, and he didn't even write books. And then he started to write down the stories that he told. And then people started to tell him stories that they had. And so sometimes his stories come out of the stories that he's heard from people. Well, he lives in Canada, which is the country that's right above us in the world. So the United States of America is right here. Canada is right above us, right on top. If you're looking at a globe, it's right on top. If you're looking at a map, it's right on top. And that's where he lives. And he got this story because he was visiting a town where lots of people lived who were from a tribe called the Mohawk tribe, which is a tribe of Native Americans. And Jillian is a Mohawk from the, now this is a really hard word to pronounce, so I'm going to do my best, Kanawaki Reserve near Montreal, Quebec, which is in Canada. Her ribbon dress is a traditional Mohawk costume. So even though the story is fiction, it's not true that she had a brand new dress and she ripped all the ribbons off to help every person who was going to the wedding with one thing or another. The idea came from a real girl, and the dress is a real Native American dress that the people in the Mohawk tribe would wear. So it's a fictional story that's based on some true things, which is how lots of stories are. The people who tell the stories or write the stories get the ideas from real things and then write their own story about it. So when we think about having friends, lots of times we look for ways that we can help our friends when our friends need things. And that's exactly what Jillian does all the way through this story. All of these people that come by, she helps them all with her dress, and she makes a sacrifice, which is giving something up for herself in order to help someone else. And that's why this beautiful ribbon dress at the end is dirty and torn, and the ribbons are gone because she used her beautiful ribbon dress to help all of her friends as they went by and needed it. So sometimes we do that. Sometimes we give something of ourselves to help someone else when they are our friends, or even when they're not our friends. It's one of the things about being a kind person is helping people when they need it. So that's what I wanted you to think about with this one. And then this one is one of our favorites, Ribbit, and we've read this a couple of times, also about friendship. But this one's not about already having friends. It's more about trying to make new friends, and how sometimes that's hard, and sometimes we don't understand each other as much as we might if it were easy to make new friends. Ribbit. This is written by Rodrigo Folguera. It's illustrated by Polly Bernatine. So a different author and illustrator, just like Ribbon Rescue. Once upon a time, there was a pond that was a home to a family of frogs. It was their pond, and they were very happy living there. But one morning, they discovered a surprise visitor. So, not much to look at on that first page. Now there is. It was a pig, a little pink pig sitting on a rock. Goodness, said the frogs. Why is there a pig in our pond? They whispered amongst themselves until finally the chief frog spoke up.
Good morning. What can we do for you?
And to their amazement, the little pig answered. Ribbit. What did he say? Cried the frogs. This pig is confused. Does he think he's a frog? Is he making fun of us? But again, all the little pig said was, Ribbit. News of the little pig who thought he was a frog spread fast, and all the animals hurried to the pond to see the visitor. This new relative of yours is a little pink, said the raccoon. He's no relation of ours, declared the frogs. He certainly sounds like a frog, declared the weasel. Why would a pig want to be a frog, said the parrot. And what's wrong with being a frog, may we ask, said the frogs. Everyone started shouting at each other, completely ignoring this little pig, who just sat there, practicing his ribbit. The animals laughed and laughed, and the frogs got angrier and angrier, until finally the chief frog shouted,
Stop! We're not getting anywhere by fighting. We must go and find the wise old beetle. He'll know what to do.
The wise old beetle? Gasped all of the animals. But he doesn't like to be disturbed. I know, said the chief frog,
but this is very serious.
That's true, the animals agreed, and off they went. And the little pig said, Ribbit? The animals found the wise old beetle and tried to explain the problem. It was hard for him to understand because they were all talking at once, and in the end he agreed to go with them to the pond. But when they arrived, there aren't any words on that page. But what does the picture tell us? The pig was gone. Where did the pig go? The animals cried. Who was he? What did he want? Maybe, said the wise old beetle, he just wanted to make new friends. And off he went. Oh dear, said the animals. They hadn't thought of that. And sure enough, sitting on a branch, high up in a tree nearby, was the little pig. And if you look at that picture and look at the word next to the pig who's sitting on the branch, it says, tweet. So now who is he trying to fit in with? Now who is he trying to make friends with? The birds. Didn't work out so well when he tried to make friends with the frogs. But he was surrounded by new friends. So all of the animals that were so worried and so afraid and so confused by this pig that was saying Ribbit climbed up in the tree and joined him. And what did they all say? Tweet, 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 tweet. In all of their animal voices. I love that story so, so much. It's a good story to think about when you meet someone new. Because lots of times when you're the new person, you are the one hoping to make new friends. And sometimes you do it and it's easy. Other times it's not so easy and it takes some time. And if you're the person who's not the new person, you have an opportunity, you have a chance to be super, super kind and make friends with people who might not be as comfortable, who might be like that pig saying Ribbit, just trying to make friends with the frogs. And the frogs thinking he is weird. When, if it were you, you could go out of your way and be super nice to the pig and make a new friend for him, just like they did at the end. They all did the right thing at the end. So have a great weekend and think about all the wonderful things you can do for your friends. And I'll see you Monday.